Welcome to Rajendra Tandon videos. We take up a chapter from Valmiki Ramayana where the poet has described Ravana longing for Sita. Preceding that, there is a cameo of Rama longing for Sita, and it would not be inappropriate to refer to those few lines written in Karuna Ras before we come to Ravan. Rama is waiting on the shores of Lanka to attack. He says, her teeth are lovely, her lips are luscious and red like the bimba fruit. Her face is like a lotus in full bloom, like a sick person taking his medicine. When shall I raise her face and kiss her? Ram was a human. We made him a god later on, but the Valmiki story talks of, most of the time, of a human being. Says he of his beloved Sita, her breasts are round, heavy and firm like the tala fruit, close set, trembling a bit. When will the twain touch me, skin to skin? What lovely images. There is none to protect the coal-eyed chaste Sita who sits surrounded by the Rakshasis, while I, her protector, sit here simply bemoaning. I have included in this video Sita sitting surrounded by the Rakshasis in Ashok Vatika. When will the chaste and truthful Sita, beautiful like a Devakanya, shed tears of joy in my embrace? Asks Ram. Simultaneously in Lanka, looking at the severe damage caused by Hanuman, who had displayed Indra's bravery, Ravana felt humiliated. Addressing his ministers, he said, writes Valmiki, we all considered Lanka to be impregnable, yet Hanuman, a mere Vanara, entered the city, met Sita, and destroyed many palaces and fortifications. He killed a number of my high-ranking Rakshasas and created a disruption never seen before. I trust your wisdom, ministers. I seek your advice as to what course of action we ought to adopt. The wise say that a sound advice offered by ministers leads to victory. You are all very wise, and I entreat you to decide upon a line of action after careful consideration. I shall follow your considered advice, irrespective of what it might be. In fact, he does not do so when Vibhishan advises him later on not to fight Ram and send Sita back, but he says that he would abide by the advice of his ministers. Ravana continues, according to my information, assisted by thousands of Vanaras, Rama is mounting an invasion on Lanka. In order to cross the ocean, they will either dry it or find some other means of crossing it. I ask you to offer suggestions on how to combat this menace. The Rakshasa ministers were no doubt brave in battle. Valmiki writes, however, they lacked wisdom that is required for counsel. They flattered Ravana with the tales of his heroic deeds during his battles against Kuber, his elder brother, the demon Maya and the Yakshas. They promised to fight to victory with lances, rods of iron, maces and thunderbolts. They said, Master, invading Yamalok, you had vanquished Yama's forces that stood deep like the ocean. You conquered even death. Sometimes ago, this earth was inhabited by the Kshatriyas. Some of them were braver than Ram. Yet, You conquered them and put them to death. Rama can never stand against you. We are sure that you might not have to go to battle at all. The brave Indrajit, your son, alone will annihilate the Vanaras. He had single-handedly captured Indra from the midst of Devata forces and brought him as a prisoner to Lanka. We therefore request you to assign this task to the prince, Indrajit. One by one, several commanders of the Asura forces stood up and counselled Ravana thus for taking up the battle with Rama. Among them were Prahasta, Durmukh, Vajradhanshtra, Kumbhakarna's son Nikumbha, and Vajrahanu, large as a mountain. But out of this sea of flattery, Vibhishan alone stood up to tender some sane advice to his elder brother. He said, "Brother, in the Niti Shastra, the learned have laid down directions for the use of force when the policies of Sam, Danda and Bhed have not been successful. A well thought out strike succeeds only if the enemy is careless, or is under attack by another, or when his forces have been depleted by an epidemic. Sri Ramchandra is neither careless nor of a feeble determination to win. He is assisted by Vanara forces. He has conquered anger and therefore he is invincible." What a thought! Do not hope to defeat such a mighty warrior with such ease. Generals, you underestimate the strength of Hanuman, who could reach Lanka in a single jump across the ocean. It is unwise to underestimate the strength of the enemy forces before properly analyzing it. It is on the basis of proper information that such a step should be taken. Vibhishan asked a very valid question. What crime had Rama committed against our king that my brother abducted his wife from the Janasthana? He had killed Khara only after being attacked by him. Everybody has a right to defend himself with his entire might. If Sita was abducted for this reason alone, we ought to send her back as early as possible. Otherwise, a grave misfortune shall befall us. The result of this abduction and unwise act of war shall not lead to anything but strife, devastation, death. Rama is a Dharmatma, Vibhishan continued. He is a warrior. His enmity would lead to our end. Hand over Maithili to him before he destroys Lanka. Otherwise, our brave generals will meet their end and our country will be trampled by the Vanara hordes. You are my elder brother and I offer you wise counsel. I speak for the good of Lanka, its people, and my kin. Send Sita to her husband before Ram. In order to kill you, rains his glorious, unbreakable and invincible arrows on us. Dear brother, give up your anger and lust, which is leading to further disruption of dharma and happiness. Take pity on us so that we can live happily with our families. Please hand over Maithili to the son of Dashratha. Ravana dismissed the court of council and walked into his comfortable and lavish apartments to ponder over the situation. Early next morning, Vibhishana went to his brother's inner chambers, where the Purohits were chanting prayers for the king's victory. He greeted his brother and began pointing out the evil omens appearing around them that indicated impending destruction. Listening to Vibhishana's polite, logical, meaningful, beneficial arguments, truly relevant in the past, present and in the future, Ravana flew into a rage. He replied, Vibhishana, I do not foresee any danger anywhere. Rama will never progress beyond the shore. he will never possess Maithili again. The two brothers cannot win a battle against me, even if the Devatas led by Indra come to their rescue. Saying this, Ravana bade farewell to Vibhishana. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram.